Hi yo guys, happy Sabbath, happy Saturday, and welcome back to my channel. The economic freedom fighters have called for the removal of Minister of Sports, Arts and Culture, Gayton Mckenzie. Action SA has approached or is intending on approaching the South African Human Rights Commission to report Gayton Mckenzie, and ATM is calling for the investigations of the tweets that have been revealed which suggest that the Minister of Sports, Arts and Culture, Gayton Mckenzie, is a racist. In this video, I wanted us to discuss this whole situation that is shaking the social media right now, which is called racism. 2 days ago, there's a podcast called Open Podcast, who was having conversation, it was young people having conversation, and they were talking about the colored community, that they are sleeping together and they're engaging in activities that siblings are not supposed to engage in, which is the activities of incest. And that suggestion has made the white community to have a lot of rage, a lot of anger, calling for action, calling them out and saying that they're racist. And the champion of this, or the person that was in the forefront of all of this, was none other than the Patriotic Alliance leader, Gayton Mckenzie, and the Minister of Sports, Arts and Culture. He was so angry that he even deployed some of the members of the Patriotic Alliance, including Liam Jacobs, to open a case against the podcast, and even said that they're going to go boycott the podcast. They don't want the podcast to be given opportunities anymore. They will even approach DSTV. They just want to cancel the podcast. Other people actually agreed with them, but other people said that these people are young, they should be forgiven. Actually, they should be given a chance. This was after the podcast released a statement of apology saying that they apologize for the utterances that they made. They will go seek for assistance, for help, so that they can be much better informed, and they will even make reports where they're going to report of their progress in the podcast so that they can be seen as if, you know what, they are rehabilitating themselves and do not repeat the same mistake. But still, despite that apology, Gayton Mckenzie still continued saying that they want to approach the South African Human Rights Commission. They want these young people to pay. As a result, we are finding ourselves in the situation that we're in. The people in South Africa then took it upon themselves to say that, but Gayton, you are not as innocent as you think you are. There's a lot of tweets that have suggested that Gayton himself is racist. And these tweets, I will put some of them here, guys, and you will read it for yourselves, because in this video we don't want it to be demonetized. So I'm not going to insert videos that can suggest that we are promoting that type of behavior of racism. I'm just going to mute the videos and explain what is being said in those videos. So these tweets, he's using a lot of the word K, so much so that he's suggesting that K people, they can't get business for themselves. There's no billionaire that is black. He's also said that in police stations, that in colored community police stations they're not supposed to employ black people in those police stations and clinics and everywhere, because the language that is used there is Afrikaans, and black people don't know Afrikaans. He also spoke, which is not true. He also spoke about Mampintsha's death and said that when Mampintsha passed away, there was that uproar. They wanted to bury him in a good way and give him a state funeral, whatever the case may be. Whereas when the same thing happened with AKA, the same energy was not echoed. He spoke about him having the need or feeling like he wants to be an aliver. When he was a 10-year-old, he wanted to be an unaliver. And he also said that he is racist towards the white community. These videos are all here, guys, and I'm not going to play them because of the issue of monetization. Obviously, his friend has protected him, which is Kenny Kunene. Kenny Kunene said that, let go of my friend, he's not racist. Actually, his mother is black. But that doesn't mean because your mother is black, you cannot be racist. Because why call other people the K word when you have a mother that at that apartheid times was the K word? Make it make sense. And this has reminded me of people like Ronald Goos. Ronald Goos even became an MP after he said really serious utterances and called black people the K word and said, unalive the K word, use the K word. And he became an MP. And at his defense, the DA said that he was young, he didn't know what he was doing, and eventually, because of pressure from the public, he ended up being removed. And the same energy that is used with Gayton Mckenzie that he should be forgiven. He said those things a long time ago. He didn't know that he was going to be the minister. Please forgive him. But when the Open podcast asked for forgiveness and said that they're going to take measures that are rehabilitatory in nature, people still didn't accept the apology. So this apology only applies to what? To white people in colored. What about black people? Why is it that when black people do things, it is hard to forgive? Proportionality, guys, proportionality. And we remember the guy on TikTok who was live and they called him the EFFK word. And the EFF protested and even called for the school to discipline these boys. Nothing was happening, just ended up being a social media thing. To date, Ronald Hoos have a YouTube channel and is still pushing. There's no problem. Even these boys, I'm assuming, the boy and the girl, I'm assuming that life is still continuing for them. And also, I wanted to take you guys to Sparrow. If you guys remember Sparrow, who went and said that the people that were there in the beach are baboons. If you guys remember those are some of the situations that show the proportionality, that when black people are being discriminated against, it's fine, it's normal. It's like, you guys are used to it. But whenever other races, they experience the same problem, it becomes an uproar, and now people have to, be cancelled, all of that. We have a situation of a bar where a guy went to a bar and was even defended by this guy, because this guy was like, how do you have a bar in a democratic country like South Africa that only allows black people? Yeah, guys, only black people. As I'm speaking to you right now, people like Donald Trump are transporting prisoners, very dangerous prisoners, from the United States of America to South African countries. So far, they've transported them to Rwanda as well as Swatini. Swatini is right here, guys. Dangerous criminals so that they do not receive tariffs. We don't even know other the terms of the negotiations between our president with the United States president. But it seems like they want to transport very dangerous criminals to South Africa. We are in danger as South African. And that act from Donald Trump is very racist, because he said that he doesn't mind providing refugee status to white people. But we black people, we need to stay here and stay with criminals so that we do not have a choice and end up saying, okay, bring Starlink. Because you guys remember Rupert, he said that what we need is Starlink. And he wants to ensure that Starlink comes by giving us criminals that are going to take the crime rate higher than what it is, and then give refugee status to white people in the United States of America. What I'm trying to prove to you guys is that the proportionality when it comes to racism is not the same. Whenever a black person says something that is that is considered racist to other races, the act is so exaggerated. But when other races are racist to black people, it's like swept under the carpet. It doesn't matter. It's like it's part of the business. It's normal. It's fine. I was watching a podcast by SMWX where he was explaining criminal injuria, what all of that means, and racism, how it means with regards to Pepuda, and he looked at the laws. And you guys can go look at that video when you understand the legal part of this whole thing of racism and calling each other with names that are unacceptable. And also, you can go to the podcast of Mighty Jamie. He's one. I'm assuming that you guys know those podcasts because we are a small channel here. So where he was explaining the meaning of all these words. And I think we need to get to a point whereby we understand that racism is racism, whether it's said by a black person, Indian people, colored, or whites. It's a racism, because someone can come and say the name Kill the Boer, the farmer, is racist itself because of the word Boer. Even someone can come and say, but these people enjoy being called Boers. They don't have a problem called Boers. But there's people that are farmers who are white and they don't like the word Boer. They feel like the word Boer is racist. Hence, I like what the EFF is doing now. They've stopped singing that part. They still sing the song, but they've stopped singing that part of unalive, the B word. And also, guys, there's Indians. Indians don't like the word K. You know it. In townships, we use the word K. They don't like it. They think that it's racist. Colored people, they don't like the word D. If you know from the townships that colored people are called the word D. They don't like it. They feel like it's racist. Even when you go to the white community, they don't like the word B. You understand? They just feel like we are just white people. We associate as white people, that's all. And I think it is time that acts like Pepuda consider amending the act so that it can cater for all those things whereby they have a definition of such words, that how problematic these words are in our community, because we are where we are because of people just throwing such words roughly in society. If the Papuda can put those acts and laws into place, then it won't be easy for podcasters to use such words, and it won't be easy. There won't be a need for us to regulate podcasters. They won't just be throwing words that suggest racism or suggest some hate speech of some kind. So I think that it is time that we amend such laws like Papuda and include such words that people find offensive. If something is not offensive to you, doesn't mean it's not offensive to another person. If something is part of the history for you, it doesn't mean that it's part of the history for another person. To other people, they find it very, very hard for them to find offense in the word K. It's like normal, even if you can call them the word K. Whereas people like me, you will be very angry as if they were there during the apartheid era, because I understand what it means. Same thing with Boer, with the I word, all those words that are there in our society. I think most importantly, we can learn from this that it is very important as a country to reach a point whereby we let go of hate speech. We let go of hating each other. Let us be fair as South Africans. Let us be truthful to each other. Let us not act like when something is said to other races is better than when it's said to other races. When something is wrong, it's wrong, and it should be condemned as such. Hence, I'm calling for the amendment of laws like Papuda, and I'm calling for the real and serious ramifications that should be taken, whether you're black or white or whatever color. If you say something that suggests hate speech and racism, you should be arrested. I don't know, guys, what you think. Please comment your thoughts. Otherwise, I will see you on my next upload. Bye.